Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus giving you guys more than the meta. So guys, this is a defensive scheme that I've been trying to work and get refined. It is a dime defense. It's the Okie roll scheme. I actually settled in. This is actually out of the Dolphins playbook. It's the dime 146. I know a lot of you guys run this defense. The disadvantage of the 146 is that, you know, it's not the best run defense. Like sometimes your guys will get pancaked, but this is a good defense because I like it because it's very confusing. Nobody's really running this game, and you're going to see some gameplay right now where I really confuse the guy. Now I do want to let you know that this guy's borderline average player. He's not an elite player. He's not a very good player, but this game gets ugly really quick because he doesn't know what to do with this particular defensive scheme. So. As far as the scheme is concerned, you know, basically, I'm going to be running my primary play, which is going to be the Okie roll Eagle 3. It's a cloud coverage of the Okie roll, but I'm also going to have a couple of audible setups that I'm going to jump into just to try to go ahead and get a feeling of what my opponent's using. Now, basically, I'm going to go ahead and set up. I'm going to use baseline as my defense. I'm going to play ball. I usually, you know, I think I went switch back and actually went with aggressive because he doesn't really have like a super fast running back or a quarterback in Carr. So I knew I was just going to go ahead and jump in aggressive. I'm going to go for any kind of pitches and stuff like that. And then also when I do tackle, I always go conservative. And the most important thing is doing match coverage, because this will mess your opponent up if they're not prepared for it. So basically, the cover up, the play I'm going to come out of the huddle is out of this 1-4-3, and it's going to be this play right here. It's going to be the Okie roll. This is going to be the play that I'm going to actually go ahead and use. Is this Okie roll 3, and one of the reasons why is that I'm actually going to have my linebackers in the gaps, and it gives a very menacing front. Now, one of my set audibles is the Okie roll 2, and the reason why is that I'm going to have matching concepts with my yellow zones and my flat zones. They're going to be having matching principles and stuff like that. You'll see a little bit later on and jump into that particular play, and I actually had some pretty good success with sacks and stuff like that. I do use cover 4 drop, and then I have a man coverage that I jump into, but it's really the whole formation I'm running is roughly about 5 different plays I'm going to use situationally. Now, out of the huddle, I'm always going to go ahead and jump into basically this cover 4. You can see I've got the roll coverage, and it kind of throws my opponent off. So I'm going to have a cover 4 coverage, and what I'm doing is I'm actually going to go ahead and do the sticks. So I'm going to have my defenders, they're going to all fall back to basically the first down marker. And what I want to do is I want to force my opponent to go ahead and throw underneath. Now, the cover 4 coverage too is pretty effective against the run. So you're going to see like right here on the first play that he tries to do a run play against me. I get a nice little block shed and able to go and tackle him for basically no gainer. He actually lost a yard in that type of situation. But this is going to be my base play on first down. So I'm going to jump into cover 4 just to get a feel for what my opponent's doing. And then the second play I'm usually going to do is I'm going to stick with this cover 3 Okie roll and usually play sticks once again. So let's just go and see if I actually follow that suit. So now I'm an Okie roll. One of the things I did do is actually blitz down, because what happens is this guy is going to get around the edge like a lot of those dime defenses and actually force my opponent to roll out to this side or actually take a sack. So that's why I like to use this on second downs. And these guys should be falling back to the sticks right here and forcing him to do everything underneath. So I don't know if I really got my defender set up correctly in this type of situation. But what he does, I come down and I bite for the ball. He does a play action, and I pull myself back out, and he's looking for this area right here. So my responsibility in the cover 3 shell is I've got to basically cover up this box right here, because this guy's going to go out of the sideline. He's going to fall back. This half is fall back. I've got a top third over the top. So I'm not really worried. I'm just worrying about this middle section right here. And he throws right to me. So you can see this right here. I get a pick 6. I get a perfect animation over the back interception and actually take this to the house. So great play. Able to go ahead and get a quick touchdown. And anytime you're playing a game, and you get a turnover on downs and score right away, it really puts the pressure on your opponent, especially when you get the ball in the second half. So great series right there. So now he comes into basically an empty base formation, and this is where I had a little trouble with this defense because I was trying to get pressure against them, and it wasn't really a smart adjustment initially. This is going to be his best drive the entire game. Everything else, he struggled against this defense. So right here, I jump into basically cover 2, and I think what I did is I got greedy. I think I tried to blitz him. No, I actually dropped a couple hook zones right here, and I think I was trying to go ahead and drop this guy into a deep third, but I just didn't. I don't think I got around to the adjustment. No, I didn't. So I've got basically guys underneath, and he tries to throw over. He does just a simple mesh concept, a drag underneath a little drag, like a crosser. 4 verticals, makes the right read right there. So really good decision with that particular play. So back at it again. Right now, I think what I do is I try to set up a blitz. I'm trying to make some adjustments, but he's basically quick snapping me with base plays. So these are kind of difficult to stop, but he does throw into one of my defenders right there in that type of situation because I've got basically, I think I took this guy and actually put him into a bluff blitz, and he actually turns into a 3-rec hook. So that was the situation with that. Now, 2nd and 10 situation. Let's see if I go with I go with man coverage. And in this type of situation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this defender and put him into a hook zone right here. And my responsibility is to try to go and play this area of the field. So that's probably my responsibility. Looking at this defensive lineman, we're having the ball on this hash, it probably would have been better for me to drop this guy into a hook zone and for me to go ahead and play the wide side of the field, because I can take away more of his reads on the wide side of the field and force him to play underneath. But I didn't really make a really good decision with that. Right here, you can see how the guy's falling back into a hook zone, and he throws right into this defender right here, and I get a little knockout animation. Now he comes back to Adams in this game, and he forces a lot of throws to Adams, and you can get away with that with Adams because Adams is an elite wide receiver in the game, but he forced a lot of throws into Adams. So 3rd and 10 situation, I go with a heavy blitz because he's got this wide set. Very aggressive blitz right here. I think I've got this guy into some type of a hook zone, and my responsibility is to try to engage, get one of my guys off the edge, and then fall back in the coverage. But I think I held a little bit too long, and his guys picked up the blitz, and I'm actually just trying to fall back, and he checks it right over here with the cross over the middle of the field. So really good read by him. Quick hiked it, made really good decisions. It was a good decision on that particular play. That's actually a really good play. I've ran into some players that have actually used that play against me in the past and have struggled with it. So not a bad decision. Back at it again, man coverage, just trying to switch things up. He actually kind of throws right there in that coverage with Waller. I don't make a play right there, but what I like about this is that he has to keep guessing after the play is snapped to try to figure out what my coverage is. He's not going to be able to read it. So back at it again. Now I go with a cover 2. I'm trying to engage to try to get one of my guys off the edge, but I have to fall back into this zone to take away the number 3 because the match principles with these guys, this guy's going to match up, this guy's going to match up. I had a deep zone out here, so this is another area that's going to be open with this coverage, and that's the one thing about using these aggressive blitzes like this in cover 2. You can see I don't set it up correctly. What I've noticed too is that I can actually take my user and blitz him in. So that's actually an option too, especially if you got a guy who likes to hold on the ball, wait for deep balls to develop. But you can see right here, I rolled back up, and I needed to come down on this. He throws a check down, which is actually kind of a smart read. I'm able to go ahead and tackle him for a 3rd and 1 type of situation. So he's just going basically with simple like smash concepts, corner concepts, underneath routes, and he's running all the plays stock. He's not making any adjustments. So here's where I ran into some problems with this defense. And if I run into an opponent, I'm going to have to lock in a little bit more on a running defense. But man coverage and actually spying up that safety is really good. It gets some run fits out there. So let's see if I run it again because he's doing a heavy set. Now I go with cover 4. And I think he just completely sandwiches. Look at this push that he gets off of his line. So my guys are just completely getting demolished by this play. So I think on the next play, because he gets easy like 8 yards on that, 6 yards on that particular play, and he was dominant. He dominated the offensive line right there. I think what he did is it jumped in the man alignment. Yeah, okay. So you could see how these guys kind of lined up straight. That's a man alignment. I'm going to put this guy into a spy because then he's going to come down and play a run fit right away. And I'm going to go ahead and go into the box myself. So let's just see if they do this. So I got this guy in a curl flat. And then basically I've got this guy into a spy, so you can see how he's actually come down and bite to the ball right away. And these guys are all just kind of falling back. So she should have just stayed with this play and basically milked this against me, but he doesn't. It was just a really bad decision by him to do that. So now he actually no huddles, or actually he doesn't no huddle, but he actually goes into a spread formation. Another play I was having some problems with, and I decided to go and hit him once again with the blitz. Problem with this is that I've got this guy to the outside. I can't get edge pressure out around the edge. So my job right here, I should be in this gap, but I'm in the wrong gap because I'm trying to make adjustments and running those cover 2 coverage. And I kind of engage the guy. I get this guy around the edge, but he just throws right over me. So this is the area that he throws. I had to fall back in that zone. I got a previous pick off of it, so I know I have the range. I just came inland and came in towards this guy. If I would have stayed flat, he would have thrown the ball right to me. So that was just a bad decision by me to do that. This is the only touchdown this guy gets. Start struggling with the rest of his defense after I come back at it. So scoring another touchdown right here. He's got basically a minute and 54 seconds left. Goes back into the spread formation. And now I'm just jumping into cover 4 and I'm playing the sticks. So I've got a guy out here playing the sticks. I got this guy playing the sticks. Got this guy playing the sticks. Got this guy playing the sticks. And my responsibility is not to give up this area right here. So this is my box right here. I can play down here, but I've got to cover back up to this area, make sure that I don't get myself in any trouble. So I have a threat with these 2 guys right here. These guys are in the seams, especially this guy. So I have to be very conscientious of that as far as my defense is concerned. So let's go ahead and take a look at the coverage. You see how I kind of back up. I gave him a little bit of a tell, but you can see I'm trying to fall back into my zone. I don't want to go ahead and give that up. And he has some guys doing some crossing routes right here. And then he throws a contested ball. So he gets a jump ball animation, aggressive animation, but I don't, that's not something I'm going to be concerned about. I don't care if I'm giving up a contested ball like that. If he's throwing into my defenders, I'm going to get a play on the other side. The 50-50 balls don't always work for you. So now I get a little bit sloppy, jump back into cover 3 in this particular play. Should have probably stayed with the cover 4. Going with the blitz, I've got this guy going into a hook zone, and I'm basically showing this guy 6. Problem with this defense, the way I have to set this up, is that really I have no coverage over here. So if he throws any kind of slants or in routes and stuff like that, it's an easy completion, and I can't cover all that. I'm going to have this guy carry a little bit. I've got a hard flat, so my job is to try to cover the middle of the field. And if I can get out to this stuff, I can. But that's just really hard if you're going to preoccupy defensive linemen. See how this guy's actually coming in the edge? So I've got a B gap going on, but the guy freezes. For some particular reason, he freezes. That should have been a sack. I didn't even notice this until now, but that should have been a sack. You see how this guy's stuck right here? He should have got a B gap blitz against him, and he throws right into my corner route right here. Back at his defender again right here. So he actually completes the ball, but you can't live and die by that stuff. You're going to get interceptions if you do that type of stuff. So back at it again. All right, so right here he's got the spread offense. I go with a more of aggressive blitz. I've got this guy coming off the edge, and I've got these guys right here. I put this guy in a vert hook zone, and I've got to cover kind of the middle of the field. And for some reason, my user got stuck in an animation. I couldn't peel him out. See how he's like coming around, and this guy's coming around. I got stuck. I couldn't pull myself out. So he does a nice little completion right there with Adams, and he's able to go ahead and get a completion and get it down 1st and goal. So, he's doing all these checkdowns. So now what I do is I just come out of cover 4, basic cover 4. I'm not worried about him running the ball against me, so I'm just playing sticks. So I'm going to have these guys play sticks. and I'm going to see if he's going to press it in the back of the end zone, even though I've got, you know, basically my 4 guys right there. So I'm going to user my 1 guy right here, pull this guy down. I figured he's going to go to Adams. He's been forcing the ball to Adams the entire time. So I'm going to watch Adams, and you can see he actually checks down to Adams on a little drag route, and I'm able to go and get him down on the 4-yard line. So no huddles. Once again, the reason I'm playing cover 4 is I want him to, and I'm going to just go ahead and jump into sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and play the goal line and see if he can actually make a play underneath there. So he no huddles, so spread my guys out. And right here he throws right to my dude. And he picks him off and gets the ball down here in the end zone. So he just makes a bad read. He just forces a bad read. And once again, this guy's not an elite player. He just made a bad decision. So gun empty, basically at it again. Now I'm up 21-0. You know, I've got the momentum, so his screen is probably shaking right now, and that probably threw him off a little bit. But right here, once again, I go into man coverage. My goal is to probably try to drop one of these guys into some kind of flat zone. I have to come back to this man coverage. I probably should take this edge defender and drop him off, and then I'm just going to go ahead and use the wide side of the field. That's probably the best way to run this man coverage. Right here, he's got man coverage. He just goes ahead and checks it down to Adams. I get a nice little or a tackle right there to get him into a 2nd and 4 situation. So back at it again. Now I go into, I think, yeah, cover 4. I hard flat my guys, but I'm playing sticks. So I'm playing sticks. And I'm saying, okay, you're going to have to throw mid-range. You're going to throw over the sticks, not under the sticks. So usering Rell right here. I still have to play. This is my quarter right here that I've got to play. So I've got to be conscientious of this guy right here. But he's running a lot. Okay, so you could see this is his passing lane. He's open right here if he's reading it correctly, but this guy keeps checking down the entire time. So I don't think he makes a good completion on it. He throws over the top with Holland, and Holland's able to go and pick off the ball. It gets a nice little leverage. So that's CPU love right there. It wasn't like I really completely out-schemed this guy, but I think because I was playing underneath coverage and I was actually playing the sticks, that threw him off a little bit, and I got a nice little match principle right there and able to get another interception. So a couple different interceptions right now, basically 3 different interceptions against this guy with this defense. He's really struggling with it. So goes into double Y flex. Now there's a threat of a run, but he's not running the ball. So let's see what I do. Okay, so I go with the cover 3 version. I got this guy going ahead and plays sticks. I've got him falling back in the sticks, and I've got this cloud flat on the outside playing the sticks. And I'm going to try to go ahead and bite on the run. He's doing he's doing a flat and then C routes, I think, on both sides. And once again, I think he forces the ball to the C route. And I get a nice little deflection. That could have been another interception right there because he actually throws into the C route. So it was just a bad read by him. He was forcing stuff to Adams, hoping to get bailed out by the computer, and you can't do that. You got to make really good reads in the game if you want to be successful in this game. So back at it again. Same coverage. I think I've got this guy at the sticks. I've got this guy dropping back, and then I've got this guy at the sticks. So I just wanted to let him check everything down. What happened is because I kind of fell up on this guy, this defender looped around, and I'm able to go ahead and get a coverage sack against him because he had to wait for things, and I got a nice little block shot off the line just because I think I got myself in the gap and actually caused some shedding issues. So right here, go into basically, okay, so now I go with a really aggressive blitz. So I've got a hook zone, which will match with this guy. I got matching right here. I got this guy in a hook zone. I got a hard flat. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get into this zone and see if I can get some guys off the edge to hit him with some pressure. Problem is that, you know, if he throws any kind of a route underneath and he stretches this, I'm going to have to get into the box and then fall out, and that's a lot of user stress. So you can see I'm in the blocks right here. I've got basically these guys coming off the edge. He puts the running back on the route. He throws the running back route, getting me out of position, and I'm able to go ahead and get him into a 4th and 6 situation. So pretty good play. I think he goes in no huddles, goes in the same formation. And now I go ahead and do this particular setup. So I've got a curl flat I've got a hard flat. I've got this route. I've got I've got these guys jumping back. I think I go with sticks again. And my responsibility is to try to cover up this quarter right here. That's my responsibility. So really the only threat I have is this, just a streak route or maybe a wheel. Wheel's going to take forever, as a streak is going to be my first read. So let's just go ahead and run this. I'm actually stuck on my defender because I didn't jump on him right away. So now I'm underneath this defender. So I'm having some hard times. That's the only problem about these rookie roll defenses, that you can get yourself in some trouble with it. Get my guy out. Only sending 2, dropping a bunch of coverage back. I play the seam right here, but you can see this guy is actually coming out. He's got the wheel under, he's got the angle underneath, and he does a check down. So this guy was a check down person. He liked to check down. He liked to check down. Didn't throw over the top a lot, unless he was throwing to Adams. So back at it again. 1st and 10. I think I go with basically man coverage. Got a curl flat out here. I'm trying to go ahead and pull my guy up. I've got everybody else manned up. So he's going to man up. He's going to man up. I've got a cross man right here. So if he takes this guy and actually goes over the top, I've got that manned up, and I've got my other guys manned up, and I've got a deep zone right over the middle of the field. He's got, I think, an in route, and he throws it. He gets a nice little completion, perfect animation, and actually takes the ball all the way down to the 24-yard line. So pretty good play right there in that type of situation. But he's forcing things to Adams, and he's not having too much good success with it. So now I go into cover 2 match. I haven't shown him a lot of cover 2. So this guy's going to match up, and then I got over the top safety help. He's going to basically go ahead and match up with this guy if this guy actually comes over, or basically if there's drag route and there's a switch concept going on, he's going to take the switch and he's going to take the drag route underneath. My responsibility is to watch the 3. So if any guy comes over the middle of the field, that's my responsibility. So let's go ahead and jump into this really quick. Let's see if this is a play where he actually hits me with a wheel underneath. So you can see how this guy takes away that passing lane right here. He kind of falls back into that passing lane. He's got a wheel that's underneath it. I've got this flat underneath it. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for this stuff to develop off to the right side. He checks it down to the wheel route and picks up a nice scanner. So it's actually a pretty good play right there, first and second and 2 situation. I'm going to go back to this play again because down to the red zone, a lot of people have a hard time reading this coverage down to the red zone, and it picks up a lot of like switching and mesh concepts and stuff like that, and really messes people up. So you can see he falls back into the zone. He's falling back. He's actually dropping kind of in the zone. I've got this guy kind of looking. The flat is wide open. But look what happens on this play. This guy just comes off the edge. Boom. Just takes out the quarterback. He's doing slants. It just takes a while. Slants is a play that takes a while to develop. It can be very deadly to play, but it just takes a while to develop, and that's why I like having that cover 2 match concept. It's really good against cover 2. So back at it again. I'm going to go ahead and run same defense again, and he's got basically this guy's matched up. This guy's matched up. He should be matching up on the 2. He should be matching up on here. My responsibility is going to be this guy if I'm playing cover 2. And I've got this guy coming off the edge to go ahead and force a play. So right here you can see I actually dropped down. He should be coming around the edge, but I've got to take care of this middle seam. So is going to be my area when I'm playing cover 2. Is my responsibility. And I fall right in that zone. And look at what he does. He just throws it right to me. And I still got the edge pressure coming off too, so that's going to rush him if he delays a little bit. But I'm able to go and pick him off, and look at this thing. I'm able to go ahead and go house with him with Rell. So good play. I like having cover 2 down to the red zone. It messes people up a little bit. It's a very difficult shell to read if you blend in other shells against them. So cover 3 and cover 4, and then man coverage. It just kind of throws people off a little bit. So this game's pretty much gravy right now. I'm up 35-7. I got to hand it to this guy. He didn't really go ahead and run away from the game. He kept playing. He kept basically grinding it out. I hope maybe he picked something up for me when I was doing my defense, but this is the Rell defense. Right here, I actually go ahead and freeze my defense. Actually, he read it correctly, but the problem with the defensive shell being in that cover 2, I baited him. Like, he threw the corner out, and he just gave up the corner out in that type of situation. So back at it, cover 3. I've got basically trips set over here, so I'm going to go ahead and drop just some kind of coverage out there. And I've got this guy's going to play kind of like a route in the middle of the field. So I've got a couple of guys just falling out. I've got this guy right here. The weakness of this cover 3 shell is going to be this seam right here. This is like the throwing lane that you can hit if you just do basic verticals. And that's why I'm going into this passing lane. I'm trying to take that away. Because these guys are dropping back into the zone, he has to wait for that to free. I've got a guy over the top. I've got this guy over the top. And I've got this guy over the top. I think what he does is actually throws to a contested ball. So as I stated before, if you keep throwing 50-50 balls, I'm going to get the other side of the 50. So I have no problem with that. If you want to go ahead and throw 50-50 balls, I'm going to go and pick you off. So once again, guys, thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. This is a defensive scheme. I'll probably go ahead and do a breakdown of this defensive scheme for you guys to take a look at. But it is something that I think is just unique. It's different. Not a lot of people are playing it, and average opponents are going to just be completely confused by it. Good opponents are going to be confused by it. The weakness of his defense is the run defense. Run defense is not great. I'll work on something that can help you, but it's a very difficult defense to actually read, and it's very hard to understand or to see and read and make decisions. So that's what I like about this defense and why it's unique. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.